Alright, starter motor out of a, I believe, 1958 Farmall, International Harvester Farmall. The Bendix here is floating and just spinning. I'm not sure why, don't know how this all works, but I'm going to take it apart and figure out why. Solenoid's fine. Positive lead from the battery comes in here. Key switch wire goes here, hit the key. Juice goes from here over to there, 12 volt this one is, and I believe it used to be 6 volt on the original starter, and down into the motor here, causing that to spin. Like I said, it's not working, so we're gonna, I think you can see the worm gear in here. There's a felt washer inside there, but you can see the worm gear down inside of there, so we'll see what happens. Tear it apart. Alright, took the solenoid off. It just sits up on the back here, a couple 3/8 inch bolts, and then took off the strap that's going down into the motor. So a little bit of corrosion there. Didn't get that off the other time. So anyway, on to the inside. Alright, I'm just pulling the strap off here. And I'd noticed before there was a lot of red tape on here, and I think what it is whoever had this before took and put the red tape here, here, and here, and corresponds to what looks to be the brushes. So maybe it was arcing before, I don't know, but I'll make sure I put some fresh tape on there. So anyway, but this is coming off, so on to the next step. I'm going to pull the back end off. I was hoping that the bolts on the back end here ran all the way through. I could see them inside of here, but they don't line up. They would be down here, although there are some there. Oh, you know, maybe they are. There's also another set of bolt heads I can see on there, so we'll try taking that off next. See what happens. Alright, I got the bolts loose on the back end of it here in the housing. I had pulled on it a little bit and I could feel the brushes come back the end of the armature here. So anyway, I don't see anything drastically wrong here. It's dirty. The brushes actually, they look like they're fairly new. I don't know if you can see inside there. Now it's pretty dark, but it's not bad. It's dirty. Get a flashlight and show you. Oh, keep the bolts in there. Okay. You can see the brushes down there, and then the end of the shaft. There's a bushing down in the bottom in there, bearing bushing, whatever that holds the shaft that goes through, and then the windings on the inside. So other than a bunch of dust and dirt, which is to be expected, it doesn't look too bad. We'll go on to the next and try to get the nose off. Okay, well, you can see the nose housing. There were two little screws inside here. This has been gone through before because they were mismatched. One was a straight head screwdriver, the other was a 5/16. One had two washers, one had one. I don't know what kind of washer that is. But, so it's looking to me like this is a spring that's broken. So we have found our culprit. You can see the spring here is snapped. So this should be holding on right there. Now the real question is can I buy this spring somewhere? So, and how do I get it off of there? Okay, well, to be continued. We'll see what happens. I don't know if you can see that. I'm sure you can, but yeah, there's the problem. It's kind of snapped. So we'll take it from there. Alright, well, I did some research. I'm trying to find this spring. doesn't really have a name that I can tell. People around here don't seem to sell just that they want to sell the whole assembly, so I'm going to go ahead and take the spring off and clean this up. So I just got these two screws here. I want to make sure it looks like one. I did find one online, but I don't know all the part and model numbers here, so I was going to see if I could match it up. So I'll come back once I get the tabs. It's just, there's a tab here and a tab on this one. The two 5/8 inch bolts. Looks like it locks down the loops of this spring, and it looks pretty simple to take off. Now that I've said that, it'll probably be a booger, but I'll come back to it. Okay, I bent the tabs back here and broke this bolts loose. So just gotta, I don't know if you can see this or not here. You got tabs on the washer, lock tabs, keep it in there. And this just slips off the end. I don't know if it's supposed to just slip off the end. I guess so. And there's the two assemblies, and where it's broken. Shame you can't weld it. Now it's the fun of finding this thing. So 1, 2, 3, 7 coils in it. It looks an awful lot like the one I saw online, so I hope that's it. Looks like it's about a $30 part. So, and then shipping and waiting for it to get here. Anyway, there it is. That's how it works, and that's what happens, I guess, when the spring breaks. The thing just spins and spins, so it does a lot of damage to the end of the gear. I don't know if you can see that or not, but a lot of these are chewed up. I don't know how long they've been chewed up, but anyway, the rest of it looks fine. The felt washer's in really good shape. The bearing tip here on the front is fine, so I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see any reason to have to buy the whole thing. Just need the spring. So, that's how it rolls. Till I get the new part, that's it. Alright, well, I was able to find a replacement spring in town. Local starter shop had one. They matched it up, and it's just a tiny bit different, but I think it's going to work just fine. So we're going to tear it back apart and put it together. Well, it looks like it's supposed to work. So we'll tighten those up, we'll pull the brushes back, we'll see about inserting the armature back in, get the nose cone back together, and hopefully it works. Alrighty, well, after quite a bit of horsing around, because there was just a slight difference in the springs as far as the thickness between here. I had to get a washer in there, and I kind of had to make it. But when you're taking these out, make sure that you know this one has the set end on the bolt that sets this collar down into the shaft of the starter. So, and this is a shorter one, and it's obvious when you take it apart, because then the whole assembly will slide off of the shaft if you get it wrong. But now I'm going to put the nose cap back on, and then I'm going to figure out how to slide this back into the brushes. So next step should be a completed starter, hopefully. I'm not sure if I covered this when I took this out or not, but these two screws, one on each side, is what actually holds the armature inside the nose cone here. And it just overlaps. These washers on here are teeth on the opposite side, and they bite into the metal. So, and you just get one on each side, one here and here, and that basically holds it all together. So Just one, I didn't know if I'd covered that before or not. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's teeth in that washer. So anyway, that'll hold it all together. Alright, well, I'd marked it before I took it apart, so I'd make sure I lined everything back up, but that's it. It looks like it's going to work okay, so I'm going to go back and put it on the tractor and give it a spin and see how it goes. I guess I could take the camera along and take some of that, but that's pretty much it. I hope it helped somebody out there. Okay, well, I got it all started. I got the starter all back installed, and I just tried it and it's working fine. And I'll see if I can't. Oh, it isn't going to start. At least I hope not. But there you go. So the spring replaced, saved $170, put a $5 spring in. Hope it helped.